Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your monthly angel card reading for September 2020. For this month's monthly reading, we'll be using the Sirian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. We also have a special message card from the Angels of Atlantis deck by Stuart Pierce for everyone. And then your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. So let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at your stones of choice for this monthly reading. Your first stone of choice is this beautiful mahogany obsidian. Now, obsidian is the black part of this. Of course, the reason why they call it mahogany is because it's got this brown mahogany color in it. But obsidian is a stone that helps to ground us. It helps to clear us from lower vibrational negative energies or patterns, subconscious trauma, etc. It helps us to look at our shadow side. Now, the mahogany obsidian has a little bit more gentle of an effect than the regular black obsidian by itself. So if you're needing some grounding, some focus, if you're needing to kind of clear out some old patterns or old lower vibrational energies, but you want to do it in a little bit more gentle way, then the mahogany obsidian will be your stone of choice this month. Your second stone of choice is a beautiful Lemurian seed, double terminated wand. Now, it's double terminated because it's got 2 points at the top, actually. And this is going to have the opposite effect than the mahogany obsidian. This is going to raise your consciousness or open up your crown chakra, raise your vibration. It's going to activate and energize you because it is a quartz crystal. And of course, with the Lemurian seed quartz, it's going to be embedded, as all quartz is, but this is embedded with special information from ancient times past, from the Lemurian time period. So if you are needing to raise your consciousness, open up your crown chakra, gain some higher vision, or just energize or activate what it is you're working on in your life, then the Lemurian seed crystal may be your stone of choice for this month. And then your last stone of choice is a beautiful smoky quartz sphere. Now, the smoky quartz sphere is both grounding, like the mahogany obsidian, but yet energizing and activating of higher crown chakra energies like the clear quartz, because smoky quartz is in fact a quartz, but it's got that brown smoky color to it. So again, it's activating like a regular quartz crystal, but yet it's grounding because of that darker brown smoky color. So if you need both activation and grounding, and now that I'm saying that, I'm thinking everybody's going to choose this one, but remember the other vibrational patterns to those other stones, right? If you need to clear out some old negative subconscious patterns, then you might want to choose the mahogany obsidian. If you want to connect with your ancient Lemurian brothers and sisters of the light, those ancient ancestors, and the double terminated point, of course, is going to activate maybe 2 different paths or 2 different areas of your life, let's say. But yet this one is, again, both grounding as well as activating. It helps you to focus, and it helps you to open up to a higher vision at the same time. It's also great as a stone of protection. So this is going to protect you from lower vibrational energies or belief systems or situations. Okay, so again, we have that mahogany obsidian, the Lemurian seed crystal wand, or the smoky quartz sphere for your stones of choice. And if not based on the description, then go on your visual too. Go on how those stones look to you and what attracts you the most at this time. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the energy vibration of September. This is a brand new month, so we're moving out of the August energy. And of course, every month of the year has a different kind of flavor to it, a different energy vibration. Of course, the whole year of 2020, well, we know what that's been about. It's been a year of some challenge, a year of maybe some restrictions and limitations going on. You know, the number 4 energy, which is what 2020, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 is all about. And the 4 can bring up some earthly challenges, some issues regarding security or a sense of groundedness or stability or focus. And as we move into the month of September, the energy vibration for this month within this year, 2020, is emulating that energy of 2020 as a whole. It is emulating this idea of needing to focus and organize and persevere and stay patient and determined while you're working towards your goals. It's also specifically a karmic number, because if we take that 4/2020 universal year energy and we add it to September, which is the 9th month of the year, we get a 13. And the 13 is considered a karmic number in numerology. So we're talking about the idea of death and rebirth. We're talking about the idea of transformation and transmutation and transition. And this is an internal death and rebirth process. This is metaphoric. This does not necessarily, it's not literal. So it doesn't mean, you know, literal death in that sense. This is about an aspect of yourself or an aspect of your life going through a huge transformation and an ending of the old ways, which is the death, and then a beginning of something new, which is the rebirth part of it. Now, this in the traditional tarot card is the death card, but again, that's metaphoric. Now, in the Sirian Starseed Tarot, it's actually called transition, and I pulled it out of the deck here for you. So again, you can get the idea or the sense here that the month of September, and this is on a collective level for everyone, we're going to be going through some sort of internal transformation and change. Now, this particular card and the symbology of it, you can actually see someone lying here, and you might think to yourself that their spirit is literally transitioning into a different realm or a higher dimension. But this can be metaphoric too, because maybe this person is sleeping and they're astral traveling. They're traveling, they're letting their spirit astral travel in the nighttime to this other dimension, this other reality, this other space and place beyond the third dimensional physical. So again, whether this is, you know, some literal or whether this is metaphoric specifically for you, this is indeed about some sort of transition and transformation that's taking place. Going to the higher realms, going to a higher state of your soul's beingness. But first the old way has to be released. First the old way has to go through this kind of death process. And whenever I get this card in a reading for a client, I get the image a lot of times of a snake shedding its skin. Again, this is an internal process of death and rebirth that you're going through, an internal process of death and rebirth that the collective is going through for the month of September 2020. So as the snake sheds its skin, it's releasing something old that it no longer needs to hang on to, or that is no longer fitting what is going to be coming up. Okay, the snake regrows a new kind of skin, a new outer covering. So just as the snake is shedding its skin and regrowing a new outer covering, so are you. You're releasing and letting go of some old energies, belief systems, emotions perhaps, thought processes, maybe situations and circumstances, maybe a relationship, but definitely old aspects of yourself that are no longer needed as you're getting ready to transition into something new, something better, something higher, just as this soul is doing, going towards the light, going towards this portal of energy. And I feel like we all as a collective in 2020 have been on this precipice of moving into a new portal of energy. Okay, as we see what's going on in the world on a collective level, yes, it's challenging. You know, yes, it's challenging on an earthly level regarding our sense of security and feeling grounded or feeling protected or just having a sense of, you know, who we are and where we're going. It's like the apple cart has been tipped over, so to speak. But as we're going through this energy, It's really about a restructuring. The number 4 is about structure. And we as a collective are in a restructuring period on this planet. And as we are in third dimensional time and space, it's usually not a quick process, right? The things that we're changing on this planet, organizations, systems, governments, belief systems, ways of operating in our lives, that takes a long time to transition. It takes a long time to go through this death and rebirth. It takes a long time to restructure what is happening with us as a whole, as a collective. So be patient. Be patient in the month of September with others, with yourself, with the process of the collective and what we're all going through. And allow yourself to release what is no longer needed within yourself or even within your life. And to get ready to transition and move up into this new portal of light energy, into this new energy within yourself, to take that next step on your soul's journey. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the astrological highlights of the month. Okay, so we talked about the numerological energy of September. The astrological highlights of the month, there's a lot happening astrologically in the month of September, but there's so much happening that it's going to be best served if I give you that in the weekly readings. I will pick out a couple of things that are very important, but there's a lot of personal planets, meaning the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Those are all the faster moving personal planets. There's a lot of transitional energies and connections going on with those planets, which means a lot of activity in our day-to-day lives, in the situations and circumstances that we're moving through. The highlights astrologically, though, we start out with the full moon right on the 1st of September. First day of September, we hit full moon energy, full moon in Pisces energy. Now, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So because this full moon in Pisces, being the last sign of the zodiac, it means that we're in this completion phase. Pisces is a completion. And so as we have this full moon in the sign of Pisces, we're operating under this cycle of completion, which again goes back to the death and rebirth, the snake shedding its skin, right? And getting ready to regrow a new skin, so to speak. We're going through this completion phase, this releasing phase, this healing phase. Pisces is all about unconditional love, compassion, the spiritual realm. It's about healing. It's about our psychic, intuitive, and healing abilities. All those things will be heightened around the full moon at this first day of September. And this full moon is actually positively aspected. It positively aspects Uranus, which is the Great Awakener. The Great Awakener, one that awakens us to the higher God mind energy and awakens us to higher dimensional energy. So this full moon is positively supported, but keep in mind again that we're releasing. We're in a completion phase, personally and as a collective, to release and let go what we no longer need. Now, the next astrological important thing that happens is on the 5th and then the 6th of September. On the 5th, we have Mercury transitioning out of Virgo and into Libra. Mercury is the planet that rules our mind. It rules our thoughts, our ideas, our communications, our perceptions. It was just in its home sign of Virgo, one of its home signs. The other one is Gemini. But as Mercury was going through Virgo, we were closely scrutinizing, analyzing, being logical about, trying to understand things, using our powers of discernment, taking care of the everyday details of life, maybe coming up with some new ideas that we needed to take steps towards completing or processing. Now that Mercury is moving into Libra on the 5th of September, where it will stay until the 27th of September, so most of the rest of this month, now our thoughts, our ideas, our communications shifts more to partnerships or relationships. Libra is the sign of partnerships and relationships. It's the sign of balance and harmony and equality. So more of our communications now, rather than being internally done with Mercury being in Virgo, that inner processing that Virgo likes to do, now we're using the communication and the thought processes and the new ideas, and we're sharing them with other people. And we're communicating with others. And there may be, again, a focus on relationships and partnerships, not just in a business sense or a working sense, but maybe in a romantic or personal friendship, family sense as well. On the 6th of September, Venus is changing signs. Venus has been in Cancer for a little while. Venus is the planet of love and relationships, as well as money and finances, personal resources, our values, and our sense of how we value ourselves. So Venus is moving out of Cancer, where it was sensitive, where it was emotional, where there was probably a focus on family relationships or those relationships in our life, to where there was an emotional connection, a strong emotional connection, because that's what Cancer is all about. Now on the 6th of September, Venus is moving into Leo, where she will be until October 2nd. And Leo is this bright light shining star of energy. You know, Leo is creative self-expression. Leo is the inner child. Leo is leadership. Leo, again, is how we shine our light out into the world. It's our personality. So Venus, being about relationships and love and finances and personal resources, this is how she's going to operate. So in money and finances, she may be very grandiose, or she might get a little creative with how she brings in or spends her money. In the realm of relationships, she wants to be seen and appreciated and recognized, because that's a Leo trait as well. She's going to be very expressive of her love, of her caring, because that's what Leo does. So this is where that energy is going to be until the beginning of October. Then on the 9th of September, Mars, the planet of energy, action, and forward movement. We call Mars the warrior planet because he likes to activate and initiate. He's in his home sign of Aries, so he's really at home here and he wants to push full steam ahead. But on the 9th of September, Mars is going retrograde at 28 degrees of Aries. He almost got all the way through Aries, because there's 29, 30 degrees in a sign, really. Once we get to 29 degrees Aries, it would move to 0 degrees of the next sign. So he was almost at the end of Aries, and he's going retrograde now for some weeks. He's actually going to stay in Aries until the end of the year before moving into the next sign of the zodiac, Taurus. So he'll be retrograde for a few weeks, and then later in the fall we'll be turning back to direct motion to finish out his Aries movement. Now, when Mars goes retrograde, just like when any planet moves to retrograde motion, it internalizes the energy a little bit. Rather than operating out and expressing out into the world when it's in direct motion, it's going to internalize and express more in. So Mars in Aries expressing out is, again, forward movement, moving fast, being assertive, just kind of going full steam ahead. Now that it's slowing down, and we've felt it slowing down probably since the last week or so of August. So things in your life, situations and circumstances, projects that you've been working on, maybe have slowed down a little bit. And as it comes to a standstill and stations at 28 degrees of Aries on the 9th, it may feel like there's a stagnant energy, like nothing's happening, nothing's moving, what's happening, what's going on. Now, when it starts to go retrograde, it doesn't mean that all that forward moving energy stops necessarily until it goes direct, but it does, again, internalize it to where we're becoming the warrior within ourselves. Okay, we're needing to kind of turn that warrior energy within ourselves and own that and be confident and be courageous and take a stand and be a leader. And we're kind of enveloping all of those qualities within our own inner personality, so that when Mars does turn direct again and goes forward again in a few weeks, that we'll feel stronger and more confident and more able to really to plow forward the way that we've been attempting to in these first few weeks while it was in direct motion. We probably did gain some headway, for sure, but now we're going to gain more of this inner sense of confidence and take charge ability. So then, again, when it goes direct, we'll be able to push full steam ahead again and really get things done and get things accomplished. So again, we can still move forward when Mars is retrograde, but it might be slowed down just a little bit. It's almost like Mars is giving us a chance when it's retrograde to go over, in some respects, some of the progress that we've made already, and seeing if we need to redirect in any way, or we need to add momentum in a different way, in a different area, it's going to give us that little bit of a chance to kind of understand things more internally rather than just with our ego. I want to say haphazardly, and it's not really haphazardly, but rather than just kind of plowing full steam ahead without any forethought. This is going to give us maybe a little bit more time to understand with more forethought where we're directing our energies. Then we're going to jump all the way to the 17th of September, and this is when we have our new moon. So our new moon is going to be in Virgo because we're still going to be Sun in Virgo energy at that time. Moon will be in Virgo on the 17th, and that will happen at 25 degrees of Virgo. Now, Virgo is that sign of discernment, using logic, taking steps, paying attention to details, analyzing things. It's in a positive connection to Saturn. Now, Saturn is about delays and sometimes restrictions and limitations, but Saturn is also about structure and form and manifestation. And this is a positive aspect. So I want to say these new beginnings with this new moon are maybe on the mental realm with ideas, because Virgo is a mental sign. It rules our processes of our mind, right? And it's going to help us to maybe manifest some of those ideas into reality because, again, it's in a positive connection with Saturn and Capricorn. So Capricorn is working diligently towards our goals, staying practical and grounded and working diligently towards our goals. And so this new moon will be able to plant new seeds and new ideas towards the manifestation of our goals. That new moon is also in what we call an inconjunct or a quincunx to Mars. That means there's something that needs to be adjusted. That kind of an aspect, the inconjunct, the quincunx, it's the same thing, two different names. That means there's something that needs to be adjusted. Now, this is to Mars, the planet of energy and action and initiation, but remember, Mars just went retrograde not too long ago. So we're needing to adjust something perhaps within ourselves, adjusting how we assert ourselves, for instance, or adjusting how we think or process our own sense of self-confidence, for instance. That's going to be part of what that new moon cycle is about. And then we jump ahead to, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, and I did miss something, actually. We got to back up a little bit to the 12th. The 12th of September is when Jupiter turns back to direct motion. So Jupiter is about our higher perceptions, the big picture, our philosophies, our belief systems. Sometimes Jupiter can be about judgment, people making judgments towards one another. Jupiter likes to expand the energies. So if we focus our beliefs on prosperity and abundance and all good things, Jupiter expands into that. If we focus on judgments or negativity in any way, Jupiter will expand into that. So as Jupiter slows down around the 12th of September, a few days before, a few days after, as it's kind of stationed at that 17th degree of Capricorn, it may intensify some of all of those things, the judgments, our ideas, our belief systems. Again, perhaps expansion into some prosperity and abundance and blessings, because Jupiter is the great benefic that rules prosperity and abundance and blessings. If you focus your attention and energies and your mind towards those types of thoughts and ideas and belief systems. So there's a rise of that Jupiter expansion energy, which also rules higher education, by the way. So you might this month be considering learning something new, taking a new class, reading a new book, taking an online course, something of that nature. So that can be part of this Jupiter turning back to direct motion as well. Okay, now we're going to move forward from the new moon on the 17th. And just taking a look here, making sure I don't miss anything of importance. We go all the way actually to the 29th. Yes, the 29th of September. This is the last thing we're going to talk about here. Again, lots of stuff happening. So watch the weekly angel card readings to get those weekly astrological energies. But on the 29th of September, we have Saturn turning back to direct motion. Now, since the beginning of the year, Jupiter, planet of expansion and blessings, as well as philosophies, belief systems, judgments. Saturn, planet of karmic lessons, planet of delays, planet of restructuring things. planet of earthly lessons, if you want to call it that, along with Pluto, planet of power and control, death and rebirth, transformation and change. All three of those planets have been traveling together in Capricorn. Now, it's interesting to me that in this month of September, Jupiter turns back to direct motion, and then Saturn turns back to direct motion, both in Capricorn. So on the 29th, as Saturn stations at that 25th degree of Capricorn and turns back to direct motion, it's going to intensify his energies. So again, we might feel a little bit of this delay or restriction or limitation as he's at a standstill. Again, we've been restructuring our inner world, so to speak, as Saturn has been retrograde. Remember, turning that energy inward instead of structuring on an outer level. We've been restructuring on an inner level, personally, and then on a collective level, the restructuring has been done kind of behind the scenes, so to speak. So there's probably been a lot done as far as restructuring of organizations, institutions, government, processes and things of that nature while Saturn has been retrograde. So now that it's turning back to direct motion, pretty much at the end of the month of September, it's intensifying these energies of restructuring. It's intensifying any karmic lessons that we have yet to be aware of and or learn the lesson from. Saturn is the great teacher of lessons. So we're needing to learn whatever lessons that Saturn, through his delays, restrictions, and limitations and the karma that we've lived from this and previous lifetimes, what are the lessons in it all? What was I supposed to learn from this relationship, this circumstance, this situation, this old idea or belief system that I had that maybe is no longer in my highest and best interest to hold on to? So Saturn's here to help us purge old karma. And so now that he's turning back to direct motion, hopefully a lot of that purging and processing, that death and rebirth and transitional energy hopefully has been done. And then as Saturn turns back to direct motion, we can restructure our lives personally and on a collective level, and we can start to manifest some new systems, if you will, for ourselves and for the world. So that's what's happening astrologically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. And I feel like I want to show you the special message card first, the special message card that came out from the Angels of Atlantis deck. So the archangel that is kind of overseeing us in our process here in the month of September is Archangel Michael. And this particular card says transmutation, which I find very interesting. There's more than one Archangel Michael card, as there is all the archangels in this particular deck, Angels of Atlantis. But Archangel Michael came specifically with this idea of transmuting old energies, which goes along perfectly with this death and rebirth transitional energy, this dynamic that we started out talking about. So transmuting lower energies, lower thoughts, lower belief systems, lower emotions, even lower situations, okay? This is about kind of taking something and allowing it to be healed and then transmuting it to a higher vibration of light. So let's say you have emotions of anger. Let's say we're talking about anger or even grief or sadness, whatever these lower emotions might be. The process in September is to take those emotions, to recognize them. We don't want to sweep them under the carpet or not pay attention to what it is that we're feeling. We do want to look at them, and we want to try to understand where they came from. Is it an old story? Is it from an old situation or dynamic? Is it something I'm carrying from my ancestral line and things, throughout family history? Is that the energy that these emotions are all about? So whatever this is about, again, whether it's emotions or thought processes or belief systems or patterns that we have, subconscious patterns or situations that we keep replaying that are no longer good for us, take that lower energy and ask that it be transmuted to the highest vibration of light. And Archangel Michael is coming in to help to cut those cords, to cut the cords between you and whatever those other energies are all about that are no longer good for you, and to release them and let them go. You can see that we have, one of the ancient Egyptian gods here. I honestly don't know exactly who that god is, although I know it's an Egyptian god that's kind of giving it up and away to the universe, or giving it up and away to Archangel Michael to take it away and transmute it to a higher vibration of light. All these sparkles of light to me are the energy that's being transmuted to a higher vibration of light. So we see it, we recognize it, we understand it, we bless it. Thank you for being in my life, for what you've been here for to teach me. I've got it, I understand it, I bless you and let you go, and I transmute it now to the highest vibration of light. And I feel like we want to call in Saint Germain, actually, to assist Archangel Michael in this transmutation process. And I get this from this kind of violet light here. There's violet light up here around this planet. There's violet light around the ancient Egyptian god. And the violet flame is Saint Germain. And Archangel Michael and Saint Germain work very well together. Oftentimes they work together to help people to release, let go, purge, and transmute lower vibrational energies. So that's the special message for everyone. Let's take a look at the message for everyone from the Sirian Starseed Tarot. So the first card, as we turn it over, is Major Arcana number 11. It's Divine Justice. So you can see this woman, she's blindfolded, she's holding the scales of justice, she's in the universal energy here, she's within the stars and the heavens, basically. So this is Lady Justice. This is the idea, the sense, the energy of justice being served in this month of September. Now the scales are pretty balanced in this particular rendition of this card. Sometimes in the justice cards of other tarot decks, they seem out of balance. But this one, they are totally balanced. So whatever has been out of balance for you, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, is going to start to come back into balance within this month of September. It might go beyond September before it's completely and totally balanced, but know that this is a spiritual energy. You know, I feel like this can be attached to physical situations too, but this is a spiritual energy of justice, divine justice, that's coming back into your life. Now, you might not see how it's happening or unfolding, just as this woman is blindfolded. She doesn't physically see with her physical eyes how that rebalancing is going to occur, but she does know that it's going to occur, because divine justice means we have trust and faith in the universe, okay? In our angels and guides and those of the light to assist us. So the universal energy, God source energy, is assisting you. You don't have to see how or when or what the details are all about. All you have to know is that you trust and have faith that divine justice will be served for you, your family, your loved ones, that the scales of karma are rebalancing. I feel like this goes way beyond our third dimensional physical life situations. This is talking on a soul level. This is a major arcana. So we're talking about on a soul level. Old patterns, old situations that from previous lifetimes, maybe you have lived over and over and over again. You've had this cycle where you've been trying to learn something, and maybe you keep having the same situations at work. Maybe you keep having the same types of difficulties or challenges in partnership matters. So know that the scales are now starting to rebalance out, that you're starting to clear, release, and balance out what those energies are all about as you move through the month of September. So I really feel like doing a healing for yourself, calling in those healers of the highest vibration of light, setting special intentions, maybe getting some sort of healing from healing practitioners that are out there that you might know or trust or are led to. That all might be very positive, because as we go through this death and rebirth, this transitional time period, it may very well be beneficial to do some sort of energy healing session of some sort. Just like I said, this full moon in Pisces that begins the month, and then we're going to be in a waning moon after that for a couple of weeks, and the waning moon is an opportune time to do some energetic healing work. And Pisces is that sign of completion, so we want to complete that energy, we want to complete that cycle. The second card that came out for our message for the month is the Two of Flames. Okay, the Two of Flames. This is like the Two of Rods or the Two of Wands in the traditional tarot. These flames are on either side of the world, either side of the planet. And if you see, there's a face, and it looks like a feminine female face here to me. This is the divine feminine, I feel. The number 2 is a very divine feminine number. We have this divine feminine energy off here in the universal heavens. We have Earth Mother Gaia, which is also a feminine planet. And then we have the 2 wands on Earth Mother Gaia. I feel like this is almost saying to me that there's 2 paths that could be followed now. As we transition and go through our death and rebirth personally and as a collective, there's 2 paths that could be followed or that could unfold for planet Earth. And it may not be yet set in stone, otherwise we would have gotten a different message, but I feel like it's not yet set in stone how things are going to unfold. Do you want to choose the left fork or the right fork? Do you want to make this decision or that decision? So, call upon that divine feminine energy, because to me, that divine feminine energy is calling upon unconditional love, compassion, peace, balance, intuition, magic, imagination, receptivity. That's the divine feminine. If we follow that path, then we're going to, make the proper choice for ourselves in the path unfolding, both for our planet and for ourselves. So first of all, I want to say there's no right or wrong, so don't feel like you're going to make a wrong decision or take a wrong fork in the road, okay? You're going to be led and guided appropriately. And if you go down one fork in the road and find that that's not the right fork, you can double backtrack and go down the other fork. So just know that if you stay in your heart, that's the divine feminine. Stay in your heart. Stay in that idea of unconditional love and compassion and peace and balance and surrender and assistance to other people. Just exuding that love from your heart for yourself and to others. That's the path to take. That's the path to take for the collective of the planet, for things to unfold in the best possible way. And that's the path to take, or that's the decision to make for yourself as well. Love yourself, respect yourself, have compassion for yourself, okay? That's going to help us in rebalancing those scales. And then the last card here. Okay, well, this is a heavy-duty card. This is Major Arcana 16, the Tower card, okay? The Tower card energy. So the energy of the month of September, numerologically, is the karmic number 13, which is that transition or the death card. In the reading itself, we have karmic number 16, which is the Tower card. This just means, I know it looks scary, but we don't have to focus on that scary energy or what it looks like, right? This simply means that the tower in our life, meaning the structures in our life, and the structures could be certain situations or circumstances like our job or career or our home or family. The structures could be our belief systems, the way we've operated our life through our emotional body and our mental body. Those are all structures within us as well. That there's something huge that's transitioning here. The Tower card means there's a huge restructuring going on regarding situations, circumstances, again, belief systems, energies within ourselves. So the old way is going to come toppling down. And sometimes it takes a little jolt for us to see, oh, that situation isn't good for us anymore. I'm really not happy in my career and my job. Or this pattern that I'm living out in my relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is, not to be in your life, but maybe the pattern that's operating in the relationship is no longer a viable pattern. So this is just saying that it's time to release and let go of the old way, the old structure. And again, sometimes the lightning bolt has to come in and give us that flash of insight or that aha moment or that kind of jolt to kind of, pull something away to let us know that this job isn't for you anymore and it's time to go in this new direction and be your true light worker self and to to really shine your light, you know, whatever that might be. That sometimes is the Tower card moment. Sometimes it comes with some sort of shock energy about what's happening. And again, remember, this is on a collective level too. So this could very well not be so much in your personal life as it is on the collective, or in, you know, your environment where you live, in your state or in your country, or what have you, that there's some sort of Tower card moment going on, which is good because, again, the old ways of the patriarchal system are not what's helping us anymore, right? We're wanting to restructure the collective of the planet, the way things are operating on the planet. And sometimes in order to do so, we need this shocking moment that will help kind of take away, strip away what is old and not viable anymore, so that we can restructure into something new, something better. So we can restructure towards this divine feminine energy here, okay? All right, so let's look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. Okay, let's take a deep breath here. I'm going to shuffle. And the first one is going to be for the people that chose the mahogany obsidian. Mahogany obsidian people. The one on the top, nope, they're saying no, not that one. Okay. Now it's the one on the bottom. Maybe. Okay, let's just kind of take a deep breath here. All right. Mahogany obsidian people. Special message for mahogany obsidian people. This one's peeking up to me, so let's pull that one. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. Okay, thank you for your patience as I got recentered there. Archangel Raphael, heart chakra. So again, being in your heart chakra, healing relationships, healing old emotional wounds, okay? Call in Archangel Raphael and his emerald green healing light to heal those lower vibrational emotions, to heal those old emotional wounds from relationships in this or previous lifetimes. Heal your heart. Be in your unconditional love and compassion for yourself and for others. This seems like it's a really healing month for you. That's the message I'm getting, is that you're here to do a lot of emotional healing in this month of September. And as you do, you'll be more ready as we move into October and then the last couple of months thereafter in this year of 2020. You'll be more ready from doing this emotional healing to move forward on your path towards that next step on your path. So again, stay in your heart. Maybe I feel like, you know, there might be at least some of the time of September where you're pulling back your energies to just kind of go on your own kind of self-healing journey, if you will. And I'm looking at the number 38 here. They guided me to look at that. And this is about expanding into your power, expanding into your sense of power to bring your emotional body back into balance, to bring a healing on an emotional level for yourself. But this month, Archangel Raphael is your go-to angel. So call him in for the healing of your own emotional body, as well as healing of relationships as well. He helps to heal relationship matters as well. All right, for those of you that chose the Lemurian seed wand, special message for Lemurian seed wand people. Okay, this one's popping up as I open my eyes. Woman holding a heart. We have a lot of heart energy here going on today. So the woman holding a heart, the first thing that popped into my mind was some of you may be wearing your heart on your sleeve, and maybe need to have better emotional boundaries with other people. So whether it's a romantic partner, a family relationship, a friendship relationship, you might need to have better emotional boundaries with people because maybe you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. So again, the other aspect of this is to be in your heart, just like with the fourth chakra Archangel Raphael card. So we want to be in our heart. We want to exude that unconditional love and exude that unconditional compassion. I mean, look, she's like holding the heart out in front of her, right? So she's wanting to give that love, that kindness, that caring, that healing to other people. I just got a flash that some of you might be healers or wondering if you should move more into your spiritual purpose here on earth, which maybe is doing healing. Some of you might be looking into doing life coaching or therapy or counseling, or maybe becoming an ordained minister, or learning some healing technique, which all of which exude this idea of unconditional love and compassion, right? So I feel like some of you are working towards moving into that healing energy, because it's going to help to heal you as well as to help heal other people. Whether, again, it takes that formal form of doing Reiki or esoteric healing or massage or whatever have you, or whether that's just learning about holding the space with your own heart chakra of unconditional love for others, towards others, just projecting that in your everyday today existence towards others. This could also mean something about relationship, that you're ready for a relationship. Maybe you're in a relationship and you're ready for healing to take place in that relationship. Maybe you're single and you're ready for a soulmate relationship to come into your life. This also may be part of the message that you're gearing up to get ready for. And since we're in this month of death and rebirth, again, there's some inner healing that is surrounding all of that, so that you can become more ready as you move forward towards the expression of connection with another person. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the Smoky Quartz Sphere, Smoky Quartz Sphere special message. The one on the bottom here, well, it was on the bottom, but the one that my hand was touching, strategy, okay? Now, this is interesting because the first part of the month, we have the sun still in Virgo, which is all about strategy and strategic thinking. And we even, for the first few days, have Mercury still in Virgo, especially during that full moon at the beginning of the month. So I feel like this is coming up with some sort of a strategy as how you want to move forward. Come up with the ideas, come up with the steps that need to be taken, make sure that you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You're coming up with the perfect strategy in order to get towards your goals, whether your goals are about a project you're working on, work or career or service to others. Maybe it's a strategy on you saving up enough money to move into a new home, or maybe this is about a strategy of what you need to heal within yourself and the steps that need to be taken so that you are more ready to flourish in a relationship. So whatever it might be, whatever area of your life, this is about kind of, to me, internalizing on a mental body level and coming up and organizing the procedure, the thoughts, the ideas, the strategy that's needed in order to realize and manifest your goals. There might be something here about writing too. Obviously, we have a quill pen here. So the strategy either involves writing down the steps so that you can physically see them and kind of mark them off as you get them done, or the strategy might be something about writing in some other form, writing a blog, writing a book, writing in a journal, what you're feeling. Maybe that's a strategy in and of itself. Rewording or reworking your website and the content within that. Which of course includes typing and not necessarily actual physical writing, but that's just metaphoric, right? So there's something about communication, words, thoughts, ideas with that quill pen here that needs to be taken into consideration as you move forward on your path. So I hope you've all liked this monthly angel card reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you like this video, like, share, comment. I would appreciate it. I am working on new wonderful things. In fact, a lot of them are already completed as of this video taping on my website. I have new services on my website. I have new products listed on my website. The content, some of it has been rewritten and reworked. So I would love for you all to take a look at that. There's going to be new and upcoming classes listed on the website soon. So take a look and see what you think. And if you want to leave me a little message about that, that would be lovely. I appreciate you all so much. And I send you all so much love and light as we move through this month of transformation together. So many blessings to all. Namaste.